say, my friends, I have for you another top 5 list. This time we're going to be going over the top 5 Town Hall 11 Queen Walk and Queen Charge strategies. That's right, guys, we are going to be going over the top 5 Town Hall 11 Queen Walk and Queen Charge strategies. Now, what we are going to be seeing is we're going to be seeing a plethora of different variation from all of these. We're going to break them down for you and all of that good stuff, making sure that you guys can sort of help you guys understand each of these attacks. So, if you are interested in learning how to Queen Charge, then I actually have a guide on that, which is going to be a card up here on the top right corner of your screen, or if you are on mobile, then you guys can just hit that one little button there, and you'll be able to find that little eye icon. So that's definitely a big thing there. But other than that, you guys can also find a Queen Walk guide that I did as well not too long ago, but definitely before my Queen Charge guide. But it gives you guys a really solid idea of what I'm going to be talking about, but we're still going to go over a lot of that information in this video. So let's go ahead and jump into our number 5 army. In the number 5 slot, we have Queen Charge Aphelion. Now, this strategy is still really strong, and this can really be used in a variety of different ways. More specifically with Quad Quake, you can also bring wall breakers, you can bring a jump, all that good stuff. But I think the main thing is, the reason that is number 5 is there are easier methods of, using a Queen Walk or a Queen Charge that you'll see later in this video. Queen Charge Lalo isn't really the strongest. Well, it is strong, don't get me wrong, but it's not the easiest to perform. It's very hard to master. It is one of the highest skill cap armies or strategies in the game. So, considering that, that's the reason why it's at number 5. There are, of course, easier strategies, and you're going to see that throughout this entire video. But the main thing with Queen Charge Lalo is if you are really interested in learning it, remember that I have that Queen Charge guide. It's still going to be as an icon there if you guys didn't watch that first part. But definitely watch that. I'm still going to be giving you guys some of the tips here, though. So the idea is that we are starting our queen right around here to walk in this way. We're not doing a long charge. What we're doing is we're funneling the queen by this way using the king or using something else. Mostly the king, though. The king is usually going to be used to create the other side of the funnel for the queen, while we use a baby dragon to create the first side of the funnel. There are a couple Teslas here that I did see, but other than that, it's just going to be dropping those 2 loons to take those out, or if there's like a hole, which there should be right around there because of the spacing, then what that means is that we're going to be able to drop in the baby dragon, and there most likely won't be any seeking air mines on the outside for our baby dragon to soak up and, start ruining the raid. But the biggest thing as far as you guys can take away is just creating a funnel on one side and the other with those 2 units in order to get that funnel made for the queen so she goes in the right direction. So that's going to be like one of the first steps. Now, what about base identification? What are you looking for? Well, you're looking for these 2 things. Now, by taking a look at this base, if we cut it in half, it's very, very similar. If we cut it from here all the way down to, well, that's not straight, but don't get me wrong. I can't really, I don't have that power with this drawing tool. But what I want you guys to still understand is, look at the value that you get on either side of the base. You get the same value. So what you're looking for primarily is the CC and the queen. Those are going to be your 2 things. So I'm going to circle them right here. But then you've also got a couple more things to look for. More specifically, you're looking for these air defenses. You're looking for at least 1, but we're using a Quad Quake here. So where would you Quad Quake? In my personal opinion, if we just look at this bottom portion down here, so if we take a look at this entire section down here, there's actually going to be more value if we go there. If we Quad Quake in this area or in this area, remember, a max Quad Quake will allow us to break 10 tiles worth of walls. So keep that in mind, because if we go in either area, we're going to have access to basically that multiple compartments. I mean, we're going to be able to get rid of the enemy CC, the enemy queen, Expo. We're going to be able to get rid of 2 air defenses, the Inferno, probably the Wizard Tower here, and also the Eagle, and both air sweepers. So either way, we're getting a lot of value from just using a queen charge. Very, very simple. So we don't have to have it be a super long walk. But I think the key thing to keep in mind is these 2 are going to be your main key objectives. Keep that in mind when you're using this. So let's go ahead and watch just this first part. I don't want this to be super long. I just want you guys to sort of understand what we're seeing. So we're going to see a baby dragon being used, but then we're going to drop in a couple balloons to take down those Teslas, just in order for us to successfully create the funnel for that other side, for the queen at least. So you'll see that what we're doing is we're letting our queen sort of clear some buildings here. We want to drop our king further away from the archer queen, of course, in order to make sure that she's getting the most out of the value. So you'll see that after she takes out the cannon, the king will continue to move down while the queen moves into the base. So now you'll see with that quad quake is that quad quake opens up a large portion of value. Like I said, we're going to be able to get 2 air defenses from just that quad quake. Remember that the risk of using a quad quake is you are using 2 full slots of spells. So that means that you have to get a lot of value with your quad quake if you want to use it. Now, I know that there's a Lava Hound in this CC, but trust me, this works against damage CCs. Make sure, though, that you are raging up your queen during when you're dealing with the enemy CC and when you're dealing with the enemy queen, or when you need to heal her up. That is going to be the only 3 times that you really need to use your rage spells on the queen and healers. So you'll see from here is that we're using the Stone Slammer. So don't worry, if you don't have access to siege machines, I really can't say too much other than you really can't use this attack. You need the Stone Slammer with you. So you'll see from here is that we've got the Stone Slammer going in. We've got a couple groups of balloons. They're going to merge together into a group. And we're going to send some more loons to go with this Lava Hound here. But we've got a good group going in behind this one Stone Slammer. And the main idea here is that when that Lava Hound does pop, which it will be popping up pretty soon, the Stone Slammer will take its place at least for a little bit. But then that will allow us to get a large amount of value. We haven't even used our Warden ability, but the Warden should be used around that portion. But of course, this was completely overpowered basically. I mean, he got through the entire rest of the base. The Quad Quake opened up more than, you know, they expected, or other than that, I mean, you didn't even have to pop the Warden ability. So, the main idea here, with that being said, is you want to make sure that you are getting the most from your haste spells. Like you saw in this example, you're just hasting up right up to those key defenses. More specifically, the wizard towers and stuff like that. Actually, the haste weren't even used. So, those are just a couple tips here and there. But that was an OP attack. But let's go ahead and take a look at our number 4 strategy. So, in the number 4 spot, we've got Queen Charge Mass Hog. This is a very simple strategy, and what are going to be the main things that we're looking at? Well, the first thing is we are looking for any splash damage. So, you know, let's take a look at things that are by the Queen and CC. I see a Multi-Inferno, see a couple Wizard Towers here. You know, those are some pretty good value there. What about, you know, our key objectives? So, of course, it's going to be the CC and Queen always. But on top of this, we should also try and get the King as well. So the King, CC, and Queen should be our main key factors here. So what we're going to see here, the attacker decided, you know, instead of just going in and Queen charging here with just a jump, which would have been just as effective, the attacker thought I could get more value if I just walk here, charge into here, and actually get my queen into this section here. And that's going to allow their queen in order to take down, you know, different splash buildings, but not just that, but also the CC, Queen, and the King. That's a lot of really good value. So you're really trying to look for those specific things. However, again, make sure that you are creating funnels so that then you're going to be able to get your queen into the base. This means that you're using the king on one side, and then you're also going to use maybe a couple wizards on the other if you decide not to bring a baby dragon. So what we're going to see right here, we're going to play this, and I want you guys to sort of understand what is going on in this example. So we're going to pull that Tesla. We can use a couple balloons to take down the mortar. This way we can use a wizard in order to clear that side of the funnel. Now we're using an early rage because we want to keep our queen alive. So you'll see that what we're doing is we are making sure that the king goes in the right direction, which is going to be this way. Then we use that super wall breaker to break open into this compartment. So we've now created this side of the funnel and this side of the funnel for the queen. She's now going to work her way down without having to worry about going onto the outside. So now what we're going to be doing, and what we're going to see from here, we're going to rage up our queen. That's going to keep her alive. We're going to rage up the queen and healers in order to keep her alive and get through that king. But on top of this, it's going to benefit us against the damage CC, which that's going to allow ourselves to get a lot of good value from just that section. So now what we've got taken care of is the enemy CC and enemy queen. So what's next? It's going to be dealing with we dealt with the king and the CC, now we're dealing with the queen next. So we're just taking our time. We're making sure that we can get the value that we need. This is more specifically going to be things like the bomb tower and stuff like that. But as that's going on, we don't need to really worry about our queen too much because we will get to her after we use this one rage spell because we're going into the queen area. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the funnel over here. We're going to clear out this section, for any defenses, whether that be, any defenses inside the base too, like this cannon, because the Mecha is tanking just long enough for the wizards to sort of help out. But then as we're doing that, we're going to send a group of hogs in here, the rest of the hogs in there. That's when we send our Grand Warden. So that is just going to be a big thing for you guys to understand. So you'll see that we're going to be dropping in our hogs into that Tesla section there, and that's where we're going to drop our Warden, making sure that we are dropping in our Warden in a bigger group instead of the smaller group. So you'll see that as we're going in, we are making sure that we're using our Grand Warden ability early in order to protect those Hog Riders through the Eagle. And as you see, we're going through the rest of the base here. Heal spells being used over the, splash damage buildings like Multi-Infernos, Wizard Towers, the Eagle shots. Those are always going to be very important. And you can see easily getting through the entire section with little to no effort. We only needed 2 heal spells there, so the idea was to do a little bit longer of a charge to get us more value for our Hog Rider portion, and then for our Hog Riders to go through that entire back end, thanks to how the defenses were placed and how there were some dead zones. We can take advantage of those really easily. So with that being said, that gives you guys another very solid example, and I hope that all of these replays will be helping you guys sort of choose the right one. I hope all this base identification kind of helps a little bit as well. But let's go ahead and move on into our number 3 strategy. In the number 3 spot, we've got Queen Charge Miners. So this strategy is really not that hard to do. It's very easy. The main thing that you're looking for is going to be the enemy CC. Now, the idea is that you are trying to look for an area that's a little bit easier to walk into, so you're not dealing with a multi-inferno right off the bat. Instead, what we want to try to take a look at is another area where if we can sort of funnel this side out, then what we've got is easy pathing through here. That's sort of the idea, because what we don't want is we don't want to, walk in here. What about this bottom section? There's a lot more DPS down there than, using a queen charge into here, still dealing with the enemy CC and stuff, and, all of that. But the idea is, the reason that this strategy is number 3 is it's miners. It's really easy to use. If you have trouble with wall breakers, maybe you bring a jump if you feel it is necessary, is what I'm trying to say. If you think it's necessary, then use it. If not, that's fine. You can try wall breakers. It's definitely still very good. Remember though, your first thing, 1 test wall breaker and then 2 to 3 wall breakers if you use a rage spell. So the idea of this is going to be creating a funnel on one side for the queen, other side for the queen as well, and then you're going to send your queen into the base, and then what that means is you are trying to take take advantage of how compartments are. So like this compartment right here, if we take down the air sweeper and the builder hut, then we have got a dead zone right there. And that means that nothing is going to go through that section. That means that our miners are actually going to have free reign to stay in the base, stay in a group, and knock that entire section out. So that's going to be the idea. So we want to charge our way into here to make that happen. That way we're still getting some value from there, like, bomb towers, queen, CC, maybe the eagle, maybe a couple archer towers, the cannons. I know that this isn't an entirely max base, but still try to take a lot of this with, some sort of sense that, you guys can definitely still use this on max bases. I mean, I've made some videos before on this strategy, so it's really not that hard. So what we're going to see here, we want to slow it down for you guys. We're going to drop in the king. We're going to allow him to create that side of the funnel. We're also going to drop in the queen. So you'll see that what we're doing is we're waiting for the king to go a little bit further away so that the queen can start walking. Now you may think she's going to start walking this way. Well, we're going to make sure that that doesn't happen. So we dropped in one test wall breaker, and now that one raised up wall breaker was able to be just enough to take out that wall. But you'll see that the rest of the wall breakers, they're going to go a little haywire there. They're not going to get the value that we kind of really wanted them to go. We wanted to get deeper in. So that means that the queen is going to have to break a wall just in order to get in. But we do have to deal with the enemy CC, which is right there. We've still got a couple more Valkyries within the Clan Castle too. So we got to make sure that we are still dealing with that. But notice how we didn't use a rage until we know that we are going to be dealing with the rest of the enemy CC. While that's going on, we're going to drop in our siege barrack, and that's going to mostly go in this direction here. What that means is that we're creating that side of the funnel. You can see baby dragons and baby dragon and Valkyries. So that's definitely a reason why we are trying to deal with the CC. That CC is going to completely toast miners if we don't take care of it. So you guys can see from here is that we're sending in our miners. We're sending them in through here. We're going to freeze up. We're going to get some freeze value from freezing up the Inferno and the Expo. So you'll see that as we're sending everything in, we've got the hogs from the siege barrack. And what we're doing is we're just popping that Warren ability so that then we don't have to burn heals too quickly. So that way we're still getting through that multi-Inferno compartment. We still got this other one, but we've got so many miners in the Eagle compartment that they're going to work their way through that area. So the idea is that you want to make sure that you're paying attention to your miners, healing them up when absolutely necessary. That's going to allow you to really get a lot of great value. And you can see we still have the queen alive. Her charge is still going. And you guys can see we have a ton of miners still up. Now you'll see that we also still have a troll Tesla, but that shouldn't be too bad to deal with. We still have miners as well. Some of them will probably split over to the Tesla after this gold storage does get taken out. But you'll see that we're still going to get a lot of value from just using all that queen charge, the miners going in, super simple stuff. I may not be the best at, breaking down some of these, of course, but I think that still you guys get a really good idea of, what you're seeing from just seeing this example. And of course, I try to break it down the best I can. I may not be the best. I'm not perfect. But definitely, hopefully that all of these still help you guys. Now let's take a look at our number 2 Queen Walk and Queen Charge strategy. So that's right, guys. We're looking at Queen Walk Mass Dragon here at Town Hall 11. Yeah, this is actually, again, a very simple strategy. Now, let me give you a quick reason to why a Queen Walk is being used and not a charge. A queen walk is being used because we can actually deal with the CC if we just walk into the radius. That's it. That's all we have to do. So it's really not that bad. So if we just walk in, if we start our walk here and just allow our queen to walk here, we're going to deal with that CC very easily. Now, if the base didn't look like this, then we would probably be using a charge. But this is still super good. This is still a very good strategy to use. Dragons right now are almost absolutely everywhere. And of course, there are easier strategies like drag bat, but dragons are still a very fun and strong way of crushing bases. And queen walk / queen charge dragons is no exception. They are still very, very superior. The biggest thing though is you want to deal with the enemy CC, especially if it's a damage CC, so that then, or even a Lava Hound at that too. If it's a Lava Hound, if it's a damage CC, E-Drag, you're gonna basically help that because you're not just picking off defenses, but you're getting rid of the CC, which is one less thing the dragons have to deal with. So that is going to be the main thing. Now, what about the Siege Barrack being used? Now, I've never seen it personally with any air attacks, like with dragons, but I think the idea is we're actually creating the other side of the funnel for our dragons. So that's a really good thing to keep in mind. So let's go ahead and play this so that then you guys can see. The base design itself is a little bit awkward, but the biggest thing as far as what I can take away from is that what I notice as a attacker is these air sweepers. So we can actually enter in this way behind their blind spot. So if we take a look at this one in particular, then what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are sending maybe the Stone Slimer in here, but we want to send the dragons in behind that air sweeper as much as possible. So you'll see that what we're doing is we are just allowing our queen to walk through the base. We're not getting any air defenses just yet. We're just picking off stuff and making a funnel for our dragons. The baby dragon up top is also getting a lot of value just by itself because a lot of those defenses, more specifically the air defenses, are a little bit inwards, meaning that we're going to get a lot of really good value from that, from just using the queen charge or the queen walk. If it was a charge, it would still be pretty strong. What you'll see right here is that we've got an all archer and dragon CC, meaning that this is going to be another CC that we do definitely want to deal with so that then it's not such an issue. What you'll see from right here as well, we're going to rage up our queen in order to keep her alive. Now we've got a couple loons going into the eagle, but you'll see that we're going to send everything into that eagle compartment. We're freezing it up so none, or at least not most of those shots go in. Notice that we're not putting in our ward in so early. We're putting it in a little bit later. We had the Siege Barrack being used up top. That would clear the rest of the structures here. And what you're seeing now is we're entering into the area like this. This air sweeper is being distracted, meaning that what we've got going in is we've got a funnel being set right here, and we're allowing our dragons to just go through the space like this. That is how easy this strategy is. If you guys are a fan of dragons, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. This is a very simple strategy, and what you guys can see from here is that we've got loons from that Siege Barrack. I've never seen loons from the Siege Barrack before, but this is definitely a first. We're popping our Warren ability right over the dragons and balloons, keeping them alive, and we're allowing them to get so much value from the free spells, from those haste spells, more specifically for the CC loons. And you can just see, this was wrecked. We still have a lot of dragons up, maybe not all of them, but we still got a ton of dragons up. Loons are still up, queen is still up. Easy wreckage right here for this strategy. But you guys can just see how strong this really is. So if you are interested in using something like dragons, then this is definitely going to be the strategy for you. I would say that this just made it look extremely easy. So, I mean, this is definitely something that I would probably try at Town Hall 13 myself, but definitely try this out if you think so. But let's move on into our number one strategy. Don't forget to like and subscribe in order to never miss an upload if you guys have made it this far. But let's go ahead and check out that number one strategy. The number one strategy, you probably have guessed it, but it is going to be hybrid. Yes, queen walk or even a queen charge being used in a hybrid, either with the Siege Barrack or the Yeti bomb. Instant success. I mean, this strategy is very powerful. If you aren't using this at Town Hall 11, then realistically, you should be trying it out now. It is super easy and it wrecks a lot of bases. Very easy to use. It's like miners and it's like hogs, but then you combine them for just one really strong and successful attack. So the idea here is that when you're using a Yeti bomb, this means that you can use this if you don't have access to a Siege Barrack. So if you are looking for a strategy that does not use Siege Barracks, or at least, not many, then definitely you guys can use this version of hybrid, which is using a Yeti bomb. No charge, just a walk to create one side of the funnel, Yeti bomb to sort of clear out some defenses and lure out the CC. So what are you looking for in a Yeti bomb? Well, at Town Hall 11, you don't have to deal with the Town Hall, so just keep that in mind. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be using your Yeti bomb to take out an Inferno compartment. That means you're trying to clear out and gut an entire compartment like this. That means you're getting a lot of good value without even using a charge. And then all you have to do really is just walk your queen like this, or, you know, whatever which way you think is necessary. On this base, it's a little awkward. I'm not sure where I would sort of hit with a walk. If I was hitting right here, then I would probably want to sort of maybe even walk this way here, funnel this side out, and then just send my hybrid in here. So I think how I would be doing this is I would Yeti bomb here, and then I would probably walk my way this way, and then probably also use the king over here on this side, and then use the hybrid going in this way. Of course, we're going to probably see something different here, but let's go ahead and show you guys really the power of a Yeti bomb in this case. So what I want you guys to really quickly understand is the Yeti bomb and the reason why it's so powerful. I mean, it is a powerful method. So you'll see right here is that we're dropping in that battle blimp. Then we're dropping in the rage. Once we pop it right over the multi-inferno, right there, instantly gets rid of those 3 buildings. Oh, like crazy. Look at how that was just able to easily deal with that with little to no effort. We cleared that entire section. Now, of course, there is a lava hound, but if there was anything else like a baby dragon or an e-drag, this is just going to be just as easy because you're getting value from just that portion. So what I notice here is that the queen is actually walking her way here, so we can use the king up top, clearing out this section, and we can actually send in our hybrid really absolutely anywhere. But the idea is we're just taking our time dealing with the enemy queen, or well, we're dealing with the enemy CC. I have seen a Yeti bomb being done against the enemy queen, so it's kind of interesting. But you'll see that what we're doing is we're actually sending in our hybrid this way. Now you may be wondering, but hey, a lot of those miners and stuff are on the outside. Well, this is why we are using the king here. We're cutting them off here, that way they move their ways themselves down. That's the idea. That is what you should be trying to do. So, I mean, if you see that you've only got like this section left, think about the other side and how you could just funnel that out with the king. And then just allow your miners and hogs to force them to go down. That's all you have to do. So you'll see that what we're doing right here is we have the warden going in. Notice how we haven't used any heals just yet, or we haven't used many heals. But notice that we used the Grand Warden's ability a little bit earlier as well, just to protect him through that multi-inferno. But you'll see as we're going through, we've got the heals still left. We're going to heal up through the bomb towers, or at least to that bomb tower, in order to keep our miners and hog riders alive. They were definitely getting weak. So you'll see that we've mostly got miners left on the base. We still got a couple hog riders, but you'll see that as we're going through, we don't even need that last rage spell. And you guys can still see, this is a very powerful strategy. If you are thinking of using any strategy here at Town Hall 11, it is going to be a Yeti bomb into hybrid. This is a very, very strong one. I could have showed you guys a charge, but I decided to show you guys something different and show you guys with these last 2, all you need is just a queen walk. Don't need to use a charge. Of course, this one's using a Yeti bomb, but you don't really need to do anything fancy. With that being said, guys, that is going to give you guys your top 5 list. I hope you guys sort of learned something from this. Hopefully my breakdowns were just enough so remember, guys, to feel free to go ahead and follow or just, subscribe to me and like the video. If you guys did enjoy, remember to hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can join the Corrupt fam and never miss an upload. Feel free to follow me on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, and also don't forget to follow me on DLive. We're going to be doing a we're going to be doing a multi-stream on Twitch and DLive, most likely coming up in the couple days. Actually, tomorrow, today when this video's out. So don't forget to go ahead and check out at around 1:15. 1:15 is going to be the stream between Sniper's Victory and Tribe Gaming in CWL Esports Division. So don't forget to check out that stream on either one of those. I will be leaving a link to my DLive in the description of this video. And also don't forget to go ahead and join any of the clan discords I have in well, I guess in the description, of course. But feel free to go ahead and join any of them if you have what it takes to join any league clans other than, Mutant Tribe, which are a little bit casual, but definitely still a competitive clan. So definitely feel free to go ahead and join any of them. And I'll be seeing, and hopefully you guys did enjoy it, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.